Howdy, and welcome back to A Texan Shaves. Today we have a review of a new soap coming out by Strike Gold Shave. It's a new presidential line soap, and this one is Carter. Also have the Splash, and this was sent to me by Frank Misa of Strike Gold Shaves. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate it very, very much, sir. This one's an interesting one, guys. Let me get into it. I'm using today my Lone Star razor. Figure I'd keep the colors patriotic since it's a presidential soap. And I am using my AKA Brushworks. This one's called the Windsor. And you can see I've got my wonderful lather here already mixed up in my brand new to me Uomo bowl from Uomo. Love this bowl. It's a really nice ceramic bowl. It's huge, though. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was. Let me grab some towels. I totally forgot towels. I need to put like a permanent sign on my mirror that says, "Don't forget your towels." I mean, that's like the ultimate no-no in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy universe, right? Forgetting your towel. So let me go ahead and I've already got the lather whipped up. Let me go ahead and get my face wet and let's get this shave started and we'll start talking about this wonderful soap. All right, I've got about 2 days worth, more like a day and a half, I guess. I haven't shaved my face since my clown fruit video. All right. Man, I'm looking forward to this. Oh, it smells so good. Wonderful base from Strike Gold as usual. So, as you know, the presidential line is based on past presidents, some current, and there are some amazing soaps in that line. This one is brand new. And for those of you that don't know, some of my younger viewers, Jimmy Carter, before he was president, was a peanut farmer. This is definitely a gourmand. I am not a gourmand person, especially deep gourmands. There's some I like, there's some I like a lot, but these deep, heavy gourmands, I'm usually not a fan of, especially when it comes to nuts, especially almond. So let me go over the scent notes of this real quick and we'll talk more about it. Little bit of the sales blurb that you'll see on Strike Gold Shave. Excuse me. Step back in time. I got to look down because I'm old and I don't have my glasses on. To the earthy warmth and charm of peanut farms in the American South. Inspired by President Jimmy Carter's roots and his years as a peanut farmer, this exclusive shave soap and aftershave captures the essence of nutty warmth and nostalgia, blended entirely in-house. That's something I want to talk about when we get to it. Blended entirely in-house. Top notes, burst of cashew, hazelnut, and pistachio, layered with a hint of fresh bay leaf. That bay leaf is amazing in this. Offering an invigorating yet warm welcome. Middle notes are rich almond, macadamia, and walnut weaved together, rounded by a dash of nutmeg for depth and intrigue. Keep listening to me, guys. Base notes, smooth, lingering hints of vanilla, chocolate, caramel, and honey wrap up this scent with a creamy gourmand warmth. Come here. I said that I'm not one for a heavy gourmand. Frank did some voodoo on this, mixing this in-house. I was going to pass on this one. And then Frank asked me if I'd review, and he'd send it to me. And thank you, Frank. So full disclosure, I did not pay for this. It was sent to me for the purpose of this review. But Frank, I apologize, but I dreaded doing this review. I wore the Splash for about a day and a half. I was blown away. We'll get to the Splash and what happens there. But this scent, smelling off the puck, nuts, nuts, nuts. Yeah, I know what that sounded like. But when you've got this going, let me keep going before my lather dries out. When you've got this going on, that scent transforms, there is this cologne base, and it's not even in the notes, but something about the mixture of this, and Frank, there's got to be something else in this than what's in these notes. There is this cologne-y base that just overtakes it, and this turns into something really sensual. This one definitely changed my mind on Heavy Gourmands. 180, complete 180. It was like whiplash when I started smelling the dry down. It was unreal. So enough about the scent, and we'll get to more of it when I get the splash on. But this one is pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. I really, really like this. All right, we can back away now. Let's get the shave going. Using a first use Filoso. So, a little bit about Jimmy Carter. I was actually alive during his presidency. I was, let's see, his presidency was 77 to 81. I was 7 years old when he was president. And I remember a lot that happened during his presidency. Something else to note, he is the oldest living president. He is the longest, Carter is the longest lived president in the U.S. In fact, October 1 of this year, he turned 100. I didn't realize he was that old. But he was born in 1924, October 1, 1924. So that is something to really celebrate there. So his tenure, he was the 39th president. His tenure, like I said, ran from January 1977 to 1981 when Reagan beat him. It was a very, very close race. He narrowly won from Gerald Ford in 1977. And this is such a wonderful, wonderful base. Performance is out of this world. All right. So, a funny story I do remember, and I've told a few times, and I actually brought it up in another group at one point for a reason, but I don't know if any of you older viewers of my channel remember this or not, if you were around during this time in the 70s, but the Jimmy Carter killer rabbit incident. I'll let that soak in for a minute. The killer rabbit incident. It's a true story. Maybe not as true as you think it is by the title, but this was a bit of crazy sensationalism that happened. And believe it or not, it was actually stirred up by Jimmy Carter himself. So the story goes, and there was Associated Press there taking photos when this happened, so there's photographic evidence of this happening, of this attack by a killer rabbit. He was fishing. He went home for Georgia on vacation, and he was fishing. I'm going the wrong way. I think I just cut my ear, so I'm not paying attention. Thinking of this story, sorry. He was back home in Georgia fishing on vacation. He was in a little John boat. It was just him. And of course, you know, people were around him on the banks of this little lake he was fishing in. And believe it or not, I don't know if any of you know, but there are things known as swamp rabbits. And apparently one was aggressively, is the word used, swimming towards him, hissing and baring its fangs, they used in the terminology in the news. And he started attacking it with paddles and stuff like that. Well, we'll get to the true story. So he took those pictures, Jimmy Carter did, and would retell this story and show the pictures, but no one could believe him. So he blew the picture up, and there's a close-up of this rabbit swimming towards you. You can tell it's a rabbit, and then people started believing him. I believe I got the date of the incident. The incident started April 20th, 1979. So the press got hold of this and blew it up. In fact, the headline on the paper was "Killer Rabbit Attacks President Carter." Big, bold headline, you know, just craziness. And it just got blown up everywhere. You think things go viral now. Back then, when something went viral, news traveled so slow compared to today. It was either by telephone, television, or newspaper and radio. And that was the fastest you could get this news, that it stayed for a while. Of course, this rabbit did not attack him. Of course, this rabbit wasn't killer. In fact, by August, he admitted, or his story had changed, and he said it's just a normal, friendly Georgia rabbit, probably running from some prey, looking for some high ground to get, and he just shoot it away, was the whole thing. But it really went crazily sensationalized. And I do remember all the talks about it when I was young, because I thought it was funny, being a kid, that such a thing as a killer rabbit, and he was attacking our president. Man, this is such a silky, silky lather. Oh, it smells so good. So yeah, look up the Carter Killer Rabbit story. It's kind of a fun read. Let's go against the grain. So we can't talk about Jimmy Carter without talking about his brother Billy. Again, those of you that are about my age or older know what I'm talking about. You see the can of beer on the back. That's Billy beer back there. I remember my dad making fun of Billy beer when I was younger. So Billy Carter was the youngest of the Carter clan. And he was definitely riding the coattails of his presidential brother to get his 15 minutes of fame. And he was known as a good old boy from the South. And we're talking, he loved his beer. A lot of times on news and talk shows, you'd see him with a can of beer. He was also known for urinating on a airport tarmac in front of press and everything. Just craziness. The guy, who knows, he might have been deflecting for the president. But it was interesting. There was some other crazy stuff about Billy Carter in Libya, but that's something you'll probably want to go read. And it made it to where Jimmy Carter had to be very careful of him even speaking to his brother because of a loan that he accepted from Libya and supposedly never paid back, but maybe $1,000 of it. No one really knows. A lot of craziness in the 70s. A lot of craziness now. It never stops. It just changes. The craziness is just a different craziness. It's how it is with humans. All right, I'm going to get my rinse, come back, and we're going to talk about this soap and this scent. Oh yeah, it's a great shave. Yeah, got a little bit of cleanup. I'll get it after I'm done with this. Wasn't paying attention. Got a little bit on both sides. Didn't get very close. But that was me. I was too busy telling my Billy Carter story. Love these new labels. Great job on those, Frank. I was kind of wishing you would keep with the format of the old ones, but I actually like the new ones. I hope you revamp all of them if you redo the old ones. This is what I'm looking for. Again, I say this is where the magic happens, and there's a reason I say that. Especially with this one. Yeah, right off the bat, I'm getting that almond. Almond always hits me first when there's almond in a scent. But it's sweeter. That honey is really beautiful in this. The vanilla as well sweetens it. In fact, you can tell that vanilla is in here. You can see the difference in the pour, how vanilla darkens. So it's very, very, very gourmand up front, and it's a lot of notes, but it's sweet, it's creamy. It's almost like a pie, a really creamy, sweet pie. And he's right. I'm reading his notes here. Creamy, gourmand, warm. It is. It's warm. It's really nice. But man, those nuts shrink. That sounded awful. Sorry. The scent shrinks of the gourmand nuts. Boy, that sounded really bad. My apologies. This cologne effervescence comes out from underneath, and I don't know exactly what it is. I know part of it's the bay for sure, and in fact, that bay is coming up right now, and it goes so well with this. I really, when I read these notes, I was like, bay, really, with nuts? How is that? But man, it works. Frank, great job, man. And it just keeps getting better. This dry down, I mean, I could sit here for another 20, 30 minutes and keep talking about how it's changing, because it is a slow movement. And every step of that movement is just gets better and better for me. I do like this one. So, Carter, this is going to be available on November 13th at Strike Gold Shave. If I discover it's going to be released anywhere else and be past yours or whatever, I'll let you know. But I think he's just strictly doing off of Strike Gold Shave's website. If you haven't shopped Strike Gold Shave, check it out. I'll have the link in the description to his website. But he's got a lot of other great things. If you're thinking about starting straight razor shaving, you can actually get a straight razor with a strop for $30, and it's going to be shave ready and honed by Frank himself. Great value for a beginner straight razor. Absolutely great value. Lots of other things. He's got some EDPs, and there will be an EDP available for this, I believe. I know there is for all the others, so I'm almost certain there is. And more information on his website. There's going to be some other reviewers come out, so for an informed decision, be sure you're checking other reviews posts on this before you buy as well. And listen, thank you for joining me, and as always, find your peace in what and where you can. We'll see you next time on A Texan Shaves. Goodbye.